And we are back to discuss some Game of Thrones-esque news. I'm here with Preston Jacobs and Carmine of Red Team Review.
That's pretty good. There you go. Not bad. Not bad. That's pretty good.
I was kind of scared. I was like...
That's a good intro. I mean,
if I did the intros, it would just be a bunch of stumbling. I'd be like, oh God, it's tough. What are we doing?
But no, we're here. We're not here for our health. We're here to talk about an incredibly important thing. Preston, in 3 days, Westworld comes out. Yes! Season 4. Yay!
Is it only 3 days?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, there's been so little hype about Westworld. I watched the trailer and I was like, for me personally, I'm gonna watch and am kind of excited about the train wreck, but like no one else is really talking about it. But
I think people are kind of waiting for it to be done, and quite frankly, I think the hype around like what's really good right now is around Better Call Saul, which if you're keeping up with that, oh my god, its last episode was amazing, and Stranger Things, which is also ending. So
yeah, everybody talks about Stranger Things a lot,
and of course for Trey and I, Berserk. Did you read the chapters yet, Trey?
I have not read the chapters yet.
Oh,
I know.
So good.
So it's new Berserk. New Berserk came out.
People are saying the art's okay. Bro, the art's still fucking... I'm sorry. The audience is not here to listen to us ramble about this. They're here to talk about the exciting news that Jon Snow sequel, a spinoff, is kind of confirmed, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I mean, I think we got that in development is a big, broad term. And yes, but it's as in development as the other ones. Sea Snake, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, 10,000 Ships.
Right, so George R.R. Martin came out with like his usual, not a blog thing, where he talks about the Jon Snow thing. By the way, real quick, I feel as though he was kind of, I don't know if, maybe I'm just looking into it a little too much, but it almost sounded like he took a swipe at, not us, but like, the general vicinity of us.
I mean, we're too small, but yeah, there's a million clickbait prequel like news stuff out there.
Right,
so yeah.
So, but no, he's annoyed with it. He's annoyed with all the the clickbait stuff. Supposedly, I guess what he was annoyed with, because I guess people took his words out of context that he hates Lord of the Rings or something. What was it?
Something, you know how they somehow think that he wants to like crush Lord of the Rings, and he went into this like long explanation of that. Like, he needs to understand that you can't control the internet. The internet's just gonna say shit, you know. Like, at some point you just got to be like, it's fine.
George is weird, like, where he brings up this drama that I had no idea even existed.
Totally.
Like, wasn't there a thing where like people thought he thought that people thought he hated the Braun actor or something, or he had beef with them, or something along those lines, and like he's like, no, that's totally untrue. And it's like, what? We didn't even think you had that in the first place.
Yeah, it's almost like protesting too much. It's like, coming out and being like, look, I know a lot of people out there like think I have a rash on my left thigh high up, but I definitely do not have a rash on my left thigh high up. Where people got this news that I have a rash on my left thigh high up? It's like insanely specific and out there. Like, what? It's an odd one, but I think this is it's hilarious, really. Because I did wonder how real the reports were, because it's such a bad idea. Like, it's such an outrageously bad idea. But now I'm like, oh, no, we do live in the dumbest timeline. The Jon Snow show is real.
So for more context, like I said, George put out a blog, and he basically said, on my Twitter and social medias, and also on YouTube on my community tab, I put out, I highlighted some of the important stuff to take away from the whole blog post, which is, he says, and I quote, "Yes, there is a Jon Snow show in development. The Hollywood Reporter was largely correct. And I would expect no less from James Hibbard, who I guess originally broke the news, or he leaked it out. I don't know what's up with James. Apparently Preston has been doing some research on James.
Oh, so James Hibbard. He's an interesting character, actually. Well, when you go back and look at his life, he is an actual like trained journalist, like went to journalism school. And so we think of people involved in Hollywood and Hollywood reporting as being like empty sacks of air, because we're just talking about entertainment. Like, who cares? But he really was a legitimate, like, trained journalist. And he did some early research on things like Waco, and his first big splash in the world was a little over 20 years ago. He got to interview some eco-terrorist.
Wait, eco-terrorist?
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Oh, shit.
He interviewed an eco-terrorist, and then the police like subpoenaed him, and were like, tell us who this terrorist is, like, give us his name. And he refused. He was like, fuck no, man, that's my source. Like, that's my source. I do not give up my source. And it went to trial. It was a big deal, and in the end he won. I mean, they later caught the guy. It didn't matter. But he made a name for himself by standing up for like journalism integrity, and refusing to give the name of this eco-terrorist.
Wow, that's pretty cool. You're making Dragon Demand sound like a real douche, because apparently Dragon Demand's in a feud with him.
I know. So then it leads into the next thing. So a couple years later, he then like stops doing real journalism and moves to Hollywood and starts doing entertainment news for the next 20 years. So but you have to take this mindset of like, this is a guy who you can talk to because he's going to protect you. He's not going to make you look bad.
Right.
Like how many articles are out there like with gotcha information? Like, I'm going to do an interview, and then we're going to get a gotcha kind of piece, and then put it in the title, and then make a person look shitty, right? He got a reputation for, I am going to be your source that makes you look great, and I'm going to protect you, and I'm never going to give up your name, right? So when leaks happen, they go to him, because he's never, ever, ever going to give up his name, the name. Like, for instance, George writes in here, I don't know who leaked the Snow information, the Jon Snow, and I likely never will. And it's true. James Hibbard will never give up that information, and that's why people go to him. And this is why, like, the book, he got so, like, when you read, so he later wrote Fire Cannot Kill the Dragon,
that was
right?
him.
Like, and when reading that book, Carmine, you said, wow, how did he get this information? How did he get people to open up about this kind of stuff? And this is the reason.
He made a name for. I don't like that in that book. Real quick, I don't like that he didn't get certain actors who I felt were kind of like Stannis. The Stannis actor is not in the book at all. There's almost no interview with. I think there is interview with the Stannis actor. I just think the Stannis actor was either very boring or had nothing to say, nothing nice to say. And he also didn't get the Alexander Siddig, Dr. Bashir from Deep Space Nine, who played Doran Martell. He wasn't in there either, who also did not have nice things to say about the stuff. So I feel as though a lot of the juicy stuff that could have been in the book was removed because it was a little too critical of everything overall. Yeah, and that's a big thing. Is say he does interview Alexander Siddig, and Alexander Siddig spends the entire time trashing a different person that James had spent a bunch of time getting information out of, and promising that, like, I'm not going to make you look bad, just give me the juice. Like, you can understand like how delicate it can be. Like, when you're in a he said, she said situation, how do you make your sources feel like they can trust you in reporting the result? Right.
So it's delicate stuff. And, he's very good at his craft of getting people to talk and being trusted by people and getting the information. Now, we can get into why Dragon Demands like hates him and what he did that was bad. So if you watch the 2019 Comic-Con panel, he interviews, he's leading the panel, and he interviews the cast members Game of Thrones. It's the Davos actor, it's Arya actor, it's Bran actor, it's Varys actor. You know, Carmine will have them off the top of his head, but you know, it takes me a while to remember each one. But and you watch this, and he feeds these questions, and they all have their witty responses, and everybody laughs, and the whole thing, you know, they're softball questions, but you know, they have some good answers, and it's funny, and the whole thing is, you know, somewhat entertaining. You know, like, oh, asking Bran, like, oh, like, did you take any souvenirs from the set? And the Bran actor says, I was there years, and the only thing I got was a spoon. And everybody laughs, and he's like, yeah, I didn't know what to do. I ran through, and I just grabbed a spoon, and that's the only thing I have is this stupid wooden spoon, and everybody's laughing. There's a whole nother interview where, not at the Comic-Con panel, where the exact verbatim questions are given to them, and they give the same answers, exact, though this time, like, but on a little less practiced and a little less refined. And probably even before that, he gave them the questions written. And so Dragon Demands looks at this, and it's just like, you like, how is this journalism? Like, you're not asking any hard questions. You're just being a what do they call it when it's just a press release? You're just being a press release, you know? Yeah. And that's true. I can't say that like Dragon's Demands is wrong about that. Like, watching those two interviews of them being the same, and I'm just like, oh my God, are you fucking serious? People paid money at Comic-Con to go see this like softball shit. Like, it's enraging. But at the same time, like, now think about it from like James Hibbard perspective. He wants to do this panel, and he's like, who's willing to come on the panel? And people are like, fuck no, I'm not going on that panel. I don't want to look like a fucking idiot. And he's like, look, come on, be on the panel. We got to make it look good. I got to get access. I got to get the good actors on this panel. And the only way that they're going to come on is if you give them, you know, softball questions. So, you know, again, this is a guy who protects his sources, and these are his sources. And so his you know, his allegiances are to them, not like the fans or the readers, you know? So I understand the whole situation. I understand why Dragon Demands like hates the guy. But like, hating him on one front does not necessarily like invalidate his information on another front, you know? So,
well, yeah, the four main takeaways from this whole blog is that, yes, George confirms that there is a Jon Snow show in development. The name of it is called, supposedly the working title is Snow, which I showed this to Trey, and Trey's like, ugh, I could hear Trey's disgust as he typed to me. The third piece of interesting news is that this is entirely Kit Harington's creation, and he has his own.
I laughed out loud when I read this line. It was Kit Harington who brought the idea to us. Oh, really? The idea from Kit Harington? Like, this is like Joey from Friends, like being like, oh, I have an idea for a spin-off starring Matthew LeBlanc. Really? What do you think it would fucking be? Oh, it's Joey? Oh, who would have fucking thought? What a crazy idea. Where did you come up with that idea? Oh my God!
I'm
really?
The main character, and I get paid a lot of money.
I get $10 million an episode. You know, like honestly, like if you were doing a spin-off, like imagine you're the actor from. Oh, now I'm picking everything. I'm like, you're the actor who plays Saul from Breaking Bad, and you want to have a show. Like, oh really? You want to have Bob Odenkirk? You have an idea? Yeah, it's about Saul Goodman. Oh fucking really? Like.
To be fair,
who would have guessed?
I am one of those people who I'm like, there's no way Kit would be behind this because, like, who cares? I would think the HBO executives are like so dumb in the sense that they're like trying to get something in here that relates to Game of Thrones, but at the same time, what didn't make any sense to me is House of the Dragon's not even out yet, so why would the HBO executives like care about this spinoff when the other spinoff isn't even out yet and we don't know how good it's gonna do? So I mean, yeah,
I don't think it was like Kit Harington like in a room like coming up with ideas and then scribbling things down. I think it was like Kit Harington's agent.
You think so?
Like, you know, we should try to do a spin-off with you. And Kit Harington being like, okay, yeah, that's some
the
money.
third thing
he
here,
gets paid on commission.
I think so, actually. I forgot how they got paid. It was in the book, I believe. But it says here that the third thing is that Kit brought like his own team, and they're terrific apparently. And the fourth thing is that I think I said this to Trey. I forgot who I said this to. I think I said this to Trey. You were correct. The fourth thing is Winds of Winter. No, I haven't forgotten. I was back with Tyrion this past week. I think your video, which is doing phenomenal, by the way, in views, I think you were correct. I think this motherfucker literally just started writing this, like, the past year or so.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because Tyrion? Back to Tyrion? Oh, okay, I mean, should be done with all this, but we're on Tyrion. And someone pointed out, like, so he just finished A Clutch of Cersei. I think he was on Jaime last time, and now it's Tyrion. I think, did he do Brienne, too?
Yeah, I think he mentioned Brienne.
Oh shit! Well, fuck.
Oh,
when I actually think of like the character that people have the least interest in the Winds of Winter, it's probably the Tyrion story.
Why?
Because like what is like the only thing he's supposed to do is eventually meet Daenerys and like be brought back. Right? Like he has no like pushing. Like yeah, he's in the middle of a battle. But we're all pretty sure he's going to survive that battle. And then he's got to meet Daenerys.
Boy,
and that's it.
People are excited to see Sweets come back and all those fun characters.
Yes. Yes. I mean, like, what's going to happen with those IOUs that he wrote? Oh, man, is that paper money? What's gonna happen with Penny? Fuck Penny.
By the way, there's something I noticed a lot of people keep saying in regards to this news, is that I noticed a lot of people in multiple comment sections when we brought this up, they keep saying how they're happy that Kit is coming back because they feel as though Kit is trying to save the ending. Kit, their mentality here, and this, I notice there's a lot of people have this mentality that I've seen all over the place, is that they feel as though Kit is their savior because Kit Harington, I keep saying this asshole's name a lot, Kit Harington believes that the ending sucked and this is his attempt to fix it.
Yeah. I mean, look. Like, say you go to the doctor tomorrow and you're diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and the doctor's like, oh yeah, this is gonna be rough. You're up for some rough times ahead. But then Kit Harington comes in and is like, I am going to save you. And I honestly believe that Kit Harington wants you to survive the non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. But do you think Kit Harington can do that?
What's this analogy? Jesus, came out of nowhere. Look, I think Kit Harington can do whatever he sets his mind to. And if this motherfucker wants to make the ending better, somehow by doing a spin-off starring him, where he probably moves to California and does his own acting gig, maybe we should give him that chance. It can't be that bad, right? Worked out for Matt LeBlanc. Why not?
I've got this plan. Step 1, you give me $10 million an episode. Step 2, question mark. Step 3, an incredible ending.
It must have been a good pitch. It must have really.
I also kind of feel bad because on the opposite spectrum of people who are like talking about this, you have a lot of people who are like kind of being very harsh with him, because his other film role, which was Dane in Eternals, I guess didn't pan out well because Eternals was kind of meh. So I guess this is his last ditch effort to remain relevant, which I think is super harsh, but okay. Okay.
I don't even I don't even know if it's him. Like I say, his agent is going to be sitting there saying, "Look, I get 5-10% of whatever Kit makes," like, and that's how these agents are. They take cuts that big, but they take like 5 to 10% of whatever their people make. And so he's like, dude, if I fucking gotta get this kid in and get his kid. He's like 40 years old. I gotta get this guy in and get him a $10 million an episode deal, and then I'm fucking set for life.
Trey, why are you so against this? I mean, maybe I'm not as against this because, you know, me and Preston are, you know, Game of Thrones season, baby. Money rolls in. But Trey, as someone who does not make money off of this, why are you not excited about it?
It's just like, what are they gonna do? Like, what? Why should I be interested in seeing what Kit Harington does beyond the wall? Like
because
maybe
he's not going beyond the wall. Maybe he's coming back.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just for me, like, I liked Game of Thrones and I like the books, obviously, but like seeing it just kind of its corpse like carried out like long after it should be buried and nobody should care anymore.
100 years, baby, 100 seasons. Come on, Trey. What are you saying?
It's kind of like me and like Kenobi. Like I finished Kenobi the other day, and it was good, but it was like, do I need this? Like, I don't know.
Me and Preston, I'm in the middle of editing Kenobi. I said the same shit. Like, everything here was incredibly unnecessary, and I didn't need to know any of this. The only thing I do appreciate is Anakin / Vader. Those scenes were fucking great, and now it makes sense as to why Leia would name her son Ben after a guy she kind of briefly maybe met or heard about in Episode 4.
Yeah, but the thing is that like solves a problem that like Disney created themselves that didn't make sense in the first place. They're like, we're fixing our own problem.
I mean, it could have been Han. He was like, I called the guy an old fossil once, and I feel really bad, so let's name my son Ben.
By the way, speaking of Star Wars, this actually, if Snow does get off into like, you know, active development and all that stuff, there will be a huge problem that they had with Star Wars and the sequel trilogy, and that is, how can we focus on this one thing, on these new characters or a returning character, when people are more curious about what's happening with the characters they've seen before and are more invested in? For example, like if we have a quote-unquote Snow series, he's probably going to be beyond the wall for a good chunk of the time, maybe in the North. Cool. But and it's probably going to be a time skip, but I'm more interested in seeing the state of Westeros under Bran the Broken. Because
but they say that's a surveillance that's like season 2 kind of stuff. It's like with the Mandalorian, you know, because this is exactly what they're doing. You know that HBO is just sitting there going, "Oh, fucking Disney, man, this is great. This is great shit. We got to do exactly what Disney is doing." You know, multi-time periods, different types of stories, you know, shared universe. Like, this is exactly what they're fucking doing. Because they're like, Disney is fucking killing us. We need to do something. They got Star Wars, we got Game of Thrones, so we can launch all these shows. And so you know, they're thinking that people are gonna have the same interest in Game of Thrones as Star Wars, and I think they fundamentally don't understand what people liked about Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah,
because it's wholly a different beast from Star Wars. You know,
it doesn't have to be like we can do a shared universe, a multiverse of madness, if you will.
No, I mean there's similarities. Don't get me wrong. Like, a lot of people do like all of the details and the continuity porn. You know, some people really fucking do, like, really did sit there and be like, where did fucking Luke get his T-16 Skyhopper toy from? Where did he get that from? Now I know.
The store, the fucking store, the toy store on Tatooine. They have it there.
It had been a bargain bin in Tashi Station.
From a Jawa, like they were selling at a yard sale.
There you go.
Well, I'm just expecting with the Snow thing, like it's gonna have like these cheesy callbacks and like all this like references to like the first like season and like quotes ripped directly. It'll just be kind of like,
Oh, like the way season 8 was.
yes.
That's a season 1 reference, you know. Like it's exactly
Like he's gonna have a child, and he's gonna tell the kid to like point it with the or stab him with the pointy end or whatever that quote was.
Oh God, you're right. Oh my God, you're so right. Oh.
Well, here's the thing about Snow. Here's why I think it has a better chance than most of these other shows. For example, George says here there are 4 live-action successor shows in development on HBO. We got about 3 of them some time ago. 10,000 Ships, the Nymeria show. Who fucking cares? Sea Snake.
I didn't realize those were live action. I thought 10,000 Ships and Sea Snake would have been animated.
No idea. No idea. Sea Snake, aka Nine Voyages. Who the fuck cares? We haven't even seen the Sea Snake yet. He may not even like be the breakout star character of House of the Dragon. So that's a weird one. I guess they're just writing scripts or whatever. And the only one I think like has a real shot is the Hedge Knight, which is a nice separate piece that doesn't have to do with like too much dragons or, you know, White Walkers, all that stuff. It's a nice little piece that could be like a limited series. Cool, phenomenal.
Yeah.
But Snow,
you know also why the Hedge Knight like can work, because it's a good fucking story.
That too.
Like to begin with, you know.
They got good characters with like goals and personalities.
Yeah.
It's just like the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that too, but I something tells me they're gonna go through with the Snow thing because Jon Snow is a lot of people's favorite character. He, like you said, Preston, he is the bathroom sign. So, and
I mean, I think there's a lot of conflation of Jon Snow is going to save the series and Jon Snow is Azor Ahai and is going to save the world. There's a lot of conflation in people's subconscious.
But he already saved the world from Daenerys. It happened.
I know.
It's
okay,
over.
Okay, let's. I'm in the pitch room. John, okay, what are your worst pitches for Jon Snow the series?
Trey.
I mean,
Trey, go ahead. So I'm thinking.
I'm okay. Worst.
Oh, I have mine though, so I'll let you guys think. I put you guys on the spot.
I kind of like the stupid like Ramsay has a bastard son that like he's trying to get revenge. Like that's kind of that's pretty great.
That was mine last time. That's good. I like that one too.
That's good. Okay. Mine is Ygritte is mysteriously alive.
No.
How?
It's terrible.
That's the whole thing. We're gonna find out, right? How?
Because his wife in on this deal, you know. Like
yes, that's what I'm talking. Ygritte is mysterious alive, or if not mysteriously alive, she often visits him in dreams, and he has hallucinations of her.
While he's in a back to tank.
Yeah, like she's guiding him, like consistently. At minimum, if there were a Jon Snow series, there would be at least one episode where he has some sort of like vision of seeing her.
Yeah,
you know that would happen.
He's definitely coming back.
She's definitely coming back in some form, right? The question is how much. Okay, so Ygritte's back. They have to get Tormund, right? Because he's the comic relief.
Best character.
Ramsay Bastard trying to get revenge on him. Dothraki north of the wall trying to get revenge on him.
They just randomly ambush him every now and then.
I'm trying to think of like what like the pop cultural idea of Game of Thrones is. Like I saw like the Family Guy Game of Thrones skit or whatever, and
I haven't seen that yet. I've seen clips. How good is it?
Not great. It's just like what like an outsider looking in on Game of Thrones thinks it is. So it's like it's kind of like
the outsider looking in always jokes about how George kills their favorite characters, and it's like George killed one guy, and then George killed one person that people liked, and then everybody died at the end. But like he doesn't kill the characters that much, you know. Not point of views.
I haven't. I think I know where they might go with this, and I hope they don't. John goes to ET because.
What? Oh, I was thinking ET like the alien.
No,
well, I mean that's what it's named after.
Yeah,
so,
pretty much. No, but the Asian cultures of not Westeros, of Planetos, of the Game of Thrones world, we haven't visited yet. And fuck it. John goes to ET for some reason because I only know about this. I think it was in the World of Ice and Fire books, and it's also somewhat of a plot point in the Crusader Kings 2 Game of Thrones mod. Aren't there like supposed demons locked in like the mazes in ET or some shit? You know what I'm talking about? The Five Forts and all that.
Doesn't Lorath all about the mazes? Or are there more than one maze?
Is that Lorath?
Is there more than one maze?
I have no idea.
The maze makers. Are you thinking of like the Five Forts or whatever that is? And
it's also a plot point in the Crusader Kings 2. For the ET area, but yes, the supposed White Walkers of Essos, and he has to stop them. And they're not really snow White Walkers; they're like sand White Walkers.
Okay.
So we have Jon Snow in Essos, mingling with Asians and fighting off sand demons. And maybe you throw in a giant sandworm in there, get the Dune reference. Huh? There you go. It writes itself, baby.
It could be a fireworm. It could be one of those things. There you go. It's already in universe.
That is true. There you go. Maybe he takes a trip to the Doom. Maybe he runs into Drogon, and Drogon hits system.
Now I do admit that north of the Wall is not a very diverse location for casting.
See?
Unless like they're gonna have black fens or something, and then the fandom will get angry fucking again, and then we'll have to have more videos about whether or not like there could possibly be black fens. So I mean, so you feel like Jon has to leave the North, but with Ygritte guiding him, he gets these visions from Ygritte, and Ygritte tells him to go east, and so he, Tormund, and some unusually attractive wildling females like get on a boat and they head east to have adventures in Essos.
On Arya's boat.
Is that what?
See, there you go. That's the worst idea. I'm telling you, man, they're gonna have to, because HBO is all about inclusivity now. Inclusivity. There's nothing wrong with that in being inclusive. Nothing wrong with it. I have no issue with it. But they have to kind of find a way to put that in there somewhere with your favorite character. So Jon Snow is Marco Polo, essentially, right, in ET, and he's there, and they've contacted him. ET, this is my pitch. ET has sent envoys to Beyond the Wall to find Jon Snow because they heard he was part of the group that killed the White Walkers. And now they have their own White Walker problem, and they need Jon Snow and the rest of the crew to come over and help them figure it out.
Will there be kids?
God, I fucking hope not. I fucking hope not.
I mean, keep in mind that Game of Thrones had a lot of kids. It's just they grew up, like, and like, will there be a sassy sidekick child that like the Ollie that never was?
Ollie that never was. There could possibly be whatever the plot needs there to be. But I'm assuming he's going to go to Essos because we've already covered all of Westeros, and I don't think they're ready to cover Westeros being ruled by Bran the Broken. And I'm sure at the end of the day, at the end of the season, or at the end of the fight against the Sand White Walkers or whatever the fuck, Bran will send reinforcements from Westeros to save the day.
Also, from Kit Harington's perspective, if you were pitching a show, would you want to pitch a show that you knew you were going to be in Iceland for the entire?
It's like it's a little cold.
Yeah, or would you want some place that like has that's a little warmer?
You can take a vacation at no problem. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We go to Dorne. We go to
again. Oh man. I think for the most part their safest bet is to like get away from Westeros and do something a little different.
We go to Tyrosh or Mir. We go to one of those places.
One of the free cities? Fuck it, why not? Maybe he can unite them, like he united Westeros against the new threat. There has to be a new threat. And Drogon has to come back to help him, because he's also has the Targaryen blood. And then maybe we get, like, zombie Daenerys. Perhaps. Who knows? Maybe Daenerys got resurrected, and then she's changed her ways. Or maybe she hasn't. But I do like Preston's idea of Ygritte stalking him in the vision and leading him where he needs to go. Because there's no way he's going to be a part of this and have his team do it without having his wife included somehow. He'd be very douchey. He'd be sleeping on the couch.
I mean, right. You've got to take it from the if I'm already fucking selling out to this degree, why not just fucking go balls to the wall and give my wife a role as well? Though she's doing pretty well these days.
Is she? Does she have any roles? I haven't seen her in anything.
Well, she was on Downton Abbey for a while, and then she's
in like a HBO thing, like a movie or something like that recently.
The Good Fight, American legal drama.
Never heard of it. Let me see. Rose Leslie. What is she in? Oh, she's in Good Fight, a political drama. You're right.
Time Traveler's Wife.
That's what I'm thinking of.
She's in Time Traveler's Wife.
Okay. Vigil, Death on the Nile. She was in Saturday Night Live.
As herself,
of course.
I don't know.
So George is involved in this project. It says I'm involved.
Oh.
Yeah.
That asshole better not be. He better be fucking in that cabin with those cheeseburgers in that pen. He better be doing it. Swear to God, that fuck.
It's such a weird concept to me that you're working on the sequel to a book series you haven't finished yet.
So there's involved, and then there's involved. Like, so many years ago, I was an intern at the Beijing embassy, you know, and I'm just like, and at the time they were planning some art show that the ambassador's wife was planning some art show. And, you know, she wasn't really doing much work at all, but they would create choices for her. Like, like of the 4 paintings that are going to be at the front, which one do you like? And then she would go, this one. And then go, okay, go for it. But of course, like, they're the ones that spent all the time to find the 4 paintings and did all of the work. And then she just got like that final say to feel like she was like in charge. Like, it very much like could be like that. Like, oh, these are the costumes. Which costumes do you like? These ones or these ones? And he's like, these ones. Go. You know, okay. You know, or this is the casting. Do you have? Can you sign off and approve? And he goes, signs off and approves and gets his check. You know.
Yeah, well. Either way, I will say I'm probably one of the very few people who is excited about this. I'm excited. We're gonna get Jon Snow again in Snow, which is it sounds stupid, but I'm waiting. I'm excited for Game of Thrones to come back. Game of Thrones season, baby. 100 years, 100 seasons. I'm excited.
now you're just excited at how ridiculous it can fucking get.
Fuck yeah.
Like, how ridiculous. How low can we go?
Oh, pretty low. Pretty low.
It's
already a failure when they bring back Arya. It's I'm already gonna hate it, but I'm gonna love hating it. I'm gonna hate the fuck out of this. And you know you are too. And we're gonna get Trey in on this. And it's gonna be 100 years, 100 seasons. and we're gonna get Glidus in here and Phil and all these other fucking people. And then we're gonna continue doing this 100 years, 100 seasons. I don't care.
And just laugh at how horrible it is. Like Jon Snow's gonna go. So, well, I mean, Jon Snow finding the baby child of the forest and then traveling. I mean, Jock and Agar, Child of the Forest, would be such a fucking good show. Oh, yeah. But like, but he travels from place to place, having adventures, and then they have an occasional drop in from the old series. You know, Grey Worm in an episode, Arya in an episode.
Get Davos for episode. Davos. He's like, I need you to steer my ship.
You know what? I like the Davos actor and the character. Bring him back. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, no, I
He's
like
a good
him
right-hand man.
I'm gonna really appreciate when they like bring Jon and Davos back for their scene and they act like they're the best of friends. You know, and they're like, and they have all these incredible warm feelings about what great times they had together. And you're like, what? What do you guys had like 4 conversations. Not even.
He saw his dick once. That changes your relationship as friends.
You spontaneously wanted him resurrected as a stranger. I mean, you've been through a lot.
I hope they bring back Tyrion just so they don't acknowledge that he killed Davos' sons or whatever.
Oh man. Oh god, no. Now it just came to me. Ygritte, he can see Ygritte because he died and he crossed over to the other side and he's come back with the ability to see dead people.
Well, how come he didn't have this ability during Game of Thrones?
Because of plot. Look,
I thought they explicitly mentioned that there's like no afterlife in the Game of Thrones world except like the werewood net.
Trey, do you want Rose Leslie in the show right now?
Not really.
We're having her in. She's in.
But no, yeah. So that's the basic news of the whole thing.
They can bring back Catelyn and she can apologize to Jon.
Oh my god!
we could have that. We can have that scene that we never got of Catelyn apologizing to Jon.
So we're gonna bring in all the Starks who have died, Rickon, Ned, and he's gonna get closure
Ned.
with everybody.
Yeah. Isn't Sean Bean doing some what shit is Sean Bean doing?
I don't know.
I feel like I saw his name on something recently and been like, "What are you doing? You could totally do more than that."
He was in Snowpiercer?
Yeah, it's Snowpiercer. It was definitely Snowpiercer. And I'm like, "What are you fucking doing? Seriously, Snowpiercer?" And I was like, "You're better than that.
You're better than that." But
you were in National Treasure. You're better than that.
James Bond. Preston, is there any more in this blog that we might have missed? Because towards the end, he mentions Dark Winds, which, okay. And then,
yeah,
I think that's it. If you have not seen...
AMC renews it for a second season, along with 35 zombie shows. Yeah.
Aren't you excited for the Blackfire, the Valerian steel replica that he's releasing or whatever?
What does he mention that?
Oh, it's in the previous post. Just scroll down.
Oh god, I did see that, and I was like, oh god, like what? It just you must feel like. Does anyone feel clean after doing those sorts of advertisements?
Well, Preston, you and I do advertisers promotions all the time. Do we feel clean after it?
No, I feel very dirty.
I feel dirty, but then after I get my money, I feel okay. Trey, we got to get you on this. We got to get you on this. We got to get you. Trey, you haven't made it on YouTube till you've done a Raid Shadow Legends sponsor. You want me to get you?
I've had the opportunity. I've had multiple opportunities, but my upload schedule's so bad that like I miss their deadlines that they give you.
Oh yeah.
They give you a month, and yeah, sometimes 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, yeah.
Come on, man! You gotta do a Raid Shadow Legends thing. You're not really a YouTuber until you've done Raid Shadow Legends. That's how you get in there. That's how they break you in. But no, that's basically it, guys. You have anything else to say?
That's it.
Yeah,
I think
really.
It's been fun shooting the shit and just laughing about how pathetic this whole situation is.
You guys are crazy. I'm still excited. I want to see what they can do. I want to see how good it can be. Who knows? It could be one of the best shows of all time. It could be better than Game of Thrones seasons 1 through 4. For me, arguably 5.
Hopefully, there'll be a accompanying coffee table book.
Fucking coffee table.
Boys, do you mind if I wrap it up here?
Thrones or whatever.
Sounds good.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us on this Game of Thrones discussion. Once again, please follow Preston on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. And Trey, what is your Twitter handle?
It's at Trey_Explainer.
Wow, really? It's that simplistic? Okay.
Yeah. I nabbed it early on, I guess.
And Preston, what is your Twitter handle? It's Sweet Robin.
Not at Sweet Robin 9000.
Sweet Robin 9000. I always get the 9000 wrong, but whenever I try to promote your stuff. But no, the reason I'm saying you guys need to follow us on social media is because we're active on there. I'm always posting stuff. Preston's posting stuff. Trey's posting stuff as well about all this. So yeah, no, thank you so much for watching us, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.